Hello everyone, it's Miss Studi. We're going to be discussing UV light. So, quick question, what is UV light? I'm going to give us a quick breakdown of what it is. If you want some more information, you can definitely send me an email or come to the library and ask me about it. Or also you can look it online and there's lots of information. So UV light is part of the electromagnetic spectrum. That's a fancy way to say light. Electricity and magnetism form all the physical and chemical things that we see in the world today. So, this right over here is the electromagnetic spectrum. If it's over here, that means it has a short wavelength, but a short wavelength means it moves very fast. Over here, it has a long wavelength, and a long wavelength means it moves very slow. So, black light over here is what humans can't see. However, there are some insects and animals that can see on these places that we can't see. So they can probably be seeing glowing things that we humans cannot necessarily see. UV light is, so for example, red, let's say two colors that we can't see, red and violet. We can see those two, right? Red has a slower wavelength, violet has a faster one. UV light means ultraviolet light. It means faster than violet light. So UV light is over here and it has very, very short wavelengths. So the waves are very short and it moves very fast. Now because of this, UV light is radiating, so it can actually damage skin cells. UV light is in the sun, which is why UV light can cause sunburn. It essentially can make a difference in the appearance of things. So for this activity, we have a little tiny UV light. Because it is not necessarily safe, make sure, it's over here, make sure you don't shine this like on your skin for too long. It won't hurt you if you do, but just be careful. And also don't shine it in people's eyes. And just be careful with it because it is UV light. So try not to shine it at your dog or cat or anything living. If you have, just don't shine it at anything living, basically, if you can help it. But if you're shining it at something else that you're trying to do for all of these projects, you'll be completely safe. Alright, so that is a little bit of UV light. Here's a really cool picture actually of what UV light can do. So UV radiation is something that can actually, it can cause danger. So for example, here is a brand new piece of rope, and here's a piece of rope that has been damaged by UV light. UV light is why when you leave like a painting out by the sun, it changes in color because the UV light affects what it looks like. Okay. Now, we talked about UV light. There are two things that are important, and that's fluorescence and phosphorescence. So fluorescence is when something glows under UV light. There are a lot of things that glow when you shine UV light at them. Phosphorescence is when something glows when you turn off UV light. These are like glow-in-the-dark stars. They're different things that do that. So for example, let's look at something that will glow when we shine UV light. This is an example of fluorescence. So here is a bag of laundry detergent. I'm going to shine this UV light on it and let's see what happens. Do you see how it kind of glows? And it looks very different than if you just shone like a normal flashlight. It almost looks kind of like neonish. So we're going to be exploring more things like that with our projects. Alright, so let's get into our project. In your kit over here, you have a couple things, but then you also have this telling you everything that's inside of your kit. So the first thing we're going to do is looking for light gens. So this is one that you need to go outside to do. So if you can like watch what I'm saying and then do this part later after doing everything in your kit. So for this one, you need your UV light. And then you also need to go outside in the evening, so maybe take like a parent or a grandparent with you, or an older sibling who can go outside with you. And you need to go outside when it's dark, and preferably when it's snowy. Now the reason why you need to do this is because you're going to be looking for light gens. You're going to be pretending that you're a reindeer. So reindeers actually are one of the few, they're the only mammals. So there are other insects probably and not mammals that have UV light vision. So what that means, a reindeer can look and it's this light. So a reindeer sees things very differently than we do. So the reason why this helps it see predators, because when it's looking, reindeers live where it's snowy, so everything is kind of like has light bouncing off of it. So when a reindeer is looking, it uses its UV light to find lichens, and it uses it to find fur, because when it sees fur, it sees that wolves are there, so it can keep itself safe. So in order to do this, you need to imagine that you are a reindeer and use your special ultralight vision to find food under the snow. So you can do this. I have a book over here. See how this person over here is like looking at a bark? You can look at bark, you can look at leaves, you can try see anything that has lichens or anything that will glow under UV light. You're looking for glowing specks of lichen and moss. The lichen or moss, it's going to look white or bright against the surroundings, but there's some that are going to glow orange and blue and green and purple, and also you might see animal urine because UV light is good at spotting that. So for example, if your cat like peed on the carpet and you don't know where it is, you just shine a UV light and it'll show you where the cat peed, which is kind of cool. So that's looking for lichens. You're going to go out, pretend to be a reindeer, and glow and try and see under the snow and on bark and on the floor of a forest. There are lots of cool forests nearby here where you can do this. And again, preferably when it's dark out and when it's snowy. Alright, so that's looking for lichens. The second one, and there'll also be some information, a little bit more information about that inside of your kit. The second one is a UV glow hunt. So this is UV light and exploring different items in your house. So you want to go, like I said, don't do it to anything that is living, but you can go around your house and see what will glow under UV light. So for example, I'm going to look at, let's see what I have around me. I don't have a bunch of stuff around me, but we'll find out. Okay, I have this water bottle, right? Let's see if it works. This is not glowing, so this does not glow under UV light. What about this piece of paper? Will this glow? This kind of looks like it's glowing, right? Yeah, it definitely looks like it's glowing. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but this is definitely glowing. The camera's not grabbing a grab of paper. So another thing that does glow is laundry detergent. Some other things that can glow in your house, there are tonic water, and there's a list of this. So you can use this list to see things that glow under UV light right over here. Alright, so our next project, what we're going to do is, we're on number 3. We're going to go into our bag, and there is a little bag in here with some beads and some string. Now you might be thinking, what is so special about these clear beads, right? There doesn't seem to be anything that's special about them. Can you see them? So I'm going to leave them in this bag, and I'm going to get this UV light and shine it on them. And if you're looking very closely, you can see that my beads are changing color. Can you see that? They're slowly changing color. So these over here are UV beads. UV beads are very cool because they absorb ultraviolet light, and when they do, they change their color. So it looks like you're just gonna have a bracelet that has a bunch of different, a bunch of like normal looking clear beads on it, but actually it has UV beads. Now you can wear this, so I'm gonna make my bracelet and then show it to you, okay? I'm gonna pause this. Alright, so I made my bracelet, and I just put a little knot. Mine is not super fancy, but if you know how to make a fancy bracelet, 100% you should go for it. Okay, so I put it over here. Now, again, don't shine the UV light on your skin to make these change, because that is not good for your skin. Instead, I'm going to let's put them on this piece of paper so that we can see a difference. And then take it off, and then you can shine your UV light on it to see them change in color. And some of them are yellow, so they're probably going to take a longer time to change color compared to the ones that are purple and pink. But the cool thing about these is that they're great in the summer and also in the winter when it's snowy out. When they change color, they let you know that you've been in the sun and you are absorbing ultraviolet light, because just like these beads are, so are you. So that's a good sign for you either to A, get out of the sun, or B, put on some sunscreen. Okay, so that is your UV light bracelet. These are very cool, and you can even turn these into a necklace. They're one of my favorite things. All right, our next project is black light art. So if you look up black light art, you'll see a lot of really beautiful things online, and they mostly have to do with neon. So for this, you're gonna need, there's 2 neon very bright crayons inside your kit, and then there's gonna be a piece of black paper. So blacklight art makes things glow when you shine UV light on it. So if you like turn off the lights and shine UV light on it, it'll usually glow. So I'm gonna show you what this looks like. So take all the time you need with yours. I'm gonna pause this and then show you what I've done. Alright, I'm back and I turned the lights off so you can see a little bit more clearer. So this is my little neon drawing, right? I'm gonna shine this on it and let's see what happens. That's really cool. Do you see how it's glowing? So you feel free to do that and this works on black paper with neon crayons. Now I'm gonna show you an example of this with a normal crayon so you can see the difference. Here's a normal crayon. It's a beautiful, great crayon in its own right, but it is not neon, so it's not very helpful for this. So I'm gonna show you. So let's draw. Let me draw something on here. Okay, it's kind of dark, but I drew like a little. I drew a flower on it, and look, if you shine a light on it, you can't really. You can see the wax, but you can't really see it. But compared to that, because this is neon, you can see this glow. Alright, so we are on to our very last project. So this is invisible UV light ink. So for this one, you're going to need your UV light paper, the bag with detergent, and the Q-tip that's inside of your kit. So this is invisible ink using detergent. So you want to make it very thin because as you can see, the detergent that we have is blue. This works best with also clear detergent, but this will work as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to write a message using your Q-tip. I'm just going to say, and you want to make it very thin. Okay. So now we're gonna let this dry. So let's give it a moment and let it dry. Okay, we are back. Now as you can see over here where I did not make it super thin, it's actually a little bit visible. So if you want to make this seamless invisible ink, I would suggest like when you dip your Q-tip, get another piece of paper and like wipe the Q-tip on that and then write with it. Alright, but let's see what we have over here. So here's my secret message and we shine our UV light on it. It says UV light. That's super cool. I love how that looks. It's there, that's not. I hope you had fun with this. But be sure to let me know if you had fun with it. And if you have any questions about UV light, just feel free to ask me about them or also look them up.